Welcome to Mission Community Nutrition. I am Autumn Gressett. In our efforts to make tasty and nutritious meals, we will be making a cauliflower pizza crust, homemade pesto, cauliflower rice with baked pesto chicken, and a baked pesto chicken salad wrap. Unfortunately, we are still in the pandemic, specifically phase 2. As you will see, we are abiding by public health requirements. So, let's virtually make our way into the kitchen and get started with Chef Scott Franklin. Today's first menu item is a delicious cauliflower pizza crust. Here to provide the details is our chef, Scott Franklin. Scott, what are the steps to complete this recipe?
Thank you, Autumn. For today's recipe, we'll need 5 to 6 cups of frozen riced cauliflower. I chose an organic brand this time. We will need some oregano, basil, Italian seasoning. We will need 1 egg whipped. We're going to need some mozzarella cheese, some of our quick tomato sauce that we made from the last episode, salt and pepper, and Parmesan cheese. So what we do is we start with our frozen cauliflower, and I'm just going to take it, open it up, and spread it all onto a pan with a piece of parchment paper in the bottom so the cauliflower doesn't stick. And then we're going to stick this into a 375 degree oven for about 10 minutes. And what we're really trying to do is we're trying to cook a little bit of the moisture out of it so we can make it into a pizza crust. I'm going to go stick this in the oven. I'll be right back. So now that I've cooked the cauliflower for 15 minutes, I've taken it out and I've let it cool just a little bit, and now we are going to remove as much moisture out of this as we can so we can make a perfect pizza crust. So what I'm going to do is take the cauliflower, put it inside a towel. You can use cheesecloth for this if you have cheesecloth, but cheesecloth is sometimes hard to find, so I'm just going to do it in a regular towel, like something you would have at home. I'm just going to put it right in there, and then we're going to go squeeze some moisture out of it.
Scott, can they use any type of kitchen towel that they have at home, or is there a specific type that they should be using?
You can pretty much use any towel you like. The biggest thing is that it would be clean. You're not going to leave any real residue on this because it's just cauliflower and water, so you should be able to wash it up just fine. But I'm just going to take this towel, I'm going to go over to the sink, I'm going to squeeze it as hard as I can, and I'm going to get a lot of the moisture out of this. So you want to squeeze as hard as you can, and you want to do this several times. And the key is to be patient. And you squeeze for a while until you see it stop dripping, and then you squeeze it again, and then when you think you're done, squeeze it one more time.
Scott, I see you've raised the oven temperature. How much did you raise it, and where are we at?
So I've raised the oven temperature to 450 degrees, and what we're going to do is we're going to par bake our pizza crust and get it absolutely ready to go. So I've taken our whisked egg, and to that I'm going to add some dried basil, maybe. I'm going to add some dried oregano. Now I'm going to add some Italian seasoning. What I'm really trying to do here is to put a lot of flavor into our cauliflower crust. This is garlic pepper. And last but not least, our good old friend, salt. With all that together, now we are going to add our cauliflower. I'm gonna mix this up really, really good. And then two things. We're gonna add a little bit of mozzarella cheese to the internal part of the mixture. So when this cooks, it's gonna cook inside the crust. And then we're gonna add a little Parmesan cheese, but I'm gonna put Parmesan cheese on the top and bottom. So I'm gonna take my grater. I'm just gonna grate a little bit of Parmesan cheese straight on to where I'm gonna put my dough. And what this is gonna do is Parmesan cheese, when it cooks, it makes like a really nice crust. So I'm gonna get a crust on top of my crust, basically. So I work my dough just a little bit, get it really good and mixed, make sure the salt permeates all of it. Take it, put it right here, and just treat it like a pizza dough. So I'm going to press it. There are a lot of cauliflower crusts that you can buy in grocery stores, and they all work really, really well. Most of them are really thin, so I like one that's a little bit thicker. So I'm going to try and make this about 1/2 inch thick. And I want it to be really tight and compressed, so I'm going to keep running my hands around the outside, making the round shape, and then just pressing in the whole time. All right, now we're going to take this and bake it in the oven. So we're going to cook this for 20 minutes in a 450-degree oven. And I'm going to take it out. I'm going to take a spatula and run all the way underneath the pizza crust and try to flip it very gently and put it back in the oven for a couple more minutes. Okay, now that my crust is par cooked, I'm going to take a fresh sheet of parchment paper, spray a little bit of avocado oil down on it. And I'm going to very gently separate and lift my pizza crust. Put it right here on the oil. So the cheese will act like a little bit of glue in all this. So now I'm going to take a little bit of cheese and use that as my glue. Now I'm going to make our pizza. So I take our zesty tomato sauce.
Scott, is that the tomato sauce that we made on the last episode?
This is, and now all I've done is I cooked it for a little while longer, and then I put half of it into a blender, and I just changed the consistency to something more like a pizza sauce consistency. I'm going to take it, spread it all around. So now that I have my sauce all the way around, I'm going to take some mozzarella cheese. I've used an organic mozzarella I really, really like. I'm going to put a really, really good healthy layer of cheese on it. And then for this pizza, I'm going to use some good big pepperonis that are nitrate free. They're uncured pepperonis. You can find them in most any store these days. Really, really good for you. So lots of pepperoni. Coat it with a little more cheese. Finish it with even a little more cheese. And then on the very top of it, I'm going to go back to our fresh grated Parmesan. And then back to our 450-degree oven. So I'm going to start checking the pizza at about 8 minutes. What I'm looking for is for the cheese to be melted and some of my sauce and cheese to be bubbling, but I don't want any extreme coloration on the pizza. So I'm going to put it in, I'm going to check it at 8 minutes. If it's ready, I'm going to take it out. If it's not, I'm going to keep checking on it until it's ready.
That pizza looks delicious. Up next, we're going to be making a homemade pesto. Scott, can you explain to us how to do this?
For our pesto today, we will need fresh garlic, fresh basil with the stems mostly removed. We're going to use avocado oil, pine nuts, and mozzarella cheese. And we're going to do it in a blender. You can do it in a blender, you can do it in a food processor. I just find in a blender we'll be able to see what's going on and you'll be able to adjust your oil a lot better in a blender. So here we go. It's just as simple as combining everything in the blender. Garlic, pine nuts, basil, okay, so I have about 2 cups of fresh basil in here, pine nuts, garlic. I'm going to add some oil very slowly while I spin it very slowly, and then in the end, before I'm all done, I'm going to add the cheese. Sometimes you have to stop for just a second and just tamp everything down. So you keep adding oil till you get to this liquid consistency that you want. It's like a very thick liquid. So now that I'm here, my last step, I'm going to add the cheese. I may need to add a little bit more oil. We'll see in just a moment. Okay, here's my pesto sauce.
That is excellent, Scott. Thanks for showing us this recipe. Up next, we are going to show you how to turn frozen cauliflower rice into a delicious accompaniment to pesto baked chicken.
For this dish, we'll need 4 chicken breasts. We'll need 4 cups of cauliflower rice. And what I've done is I've taken the frozen cauliflower rice, given it a little chance to thaw out just a little bit. I did the squeeze trick like we did before, but I just did it once to take out most of the liquid, but I didn't do it like I did the last time. So we're going to take our cauliflower rice, we're going to add some of our pesto sauce to it. Smooth it all around. It's going to cook in here with it. As this starts to cook, some of the water is going to get released from all this and it's going to help steam our chicken. Next I'm going to add some butter.
Now, pesto seems like an odd accompaniment to cauliflower rice. Scott, is there other things that you can add pesto to?
Absolutely. One thing that you may do is some of these zucchini noodles, they call them zoodles. If I were going to do this, I would put the chicken in the oven by itself, and then I would take the zoodles, combine the pesto with it, and put it in just for the last maybe 10 minutes of the process because the zucchini doesn't need as much time to cook. But this is a great way to get your vegetable and pasta in the same thing. Next, I am going to salt and pepper our chicken breasts. Always super important to get good seasoning and good flavor in. So I'm going to take some of our leftover pesto and I'm going to coat it on the top of our chicken, and it's just going to bake. It's going to loosen up a little bit, coat the entire chicken, and provide a little bit of a crust, but really this amazing flavor. Now I take the chicken, put it on top of the cauliflower rice, and we are going to stick it in the oven. For this recipe, we're going to cook the chicken at about 325 degrees for about 45 minutes. You'll know when it's done when you take a meat thermometer, you stick it in the thickest part of the chicken, and it registers 165 degrees. Keep cooking it until it registers 165 degrees. When it comes out, you're going to let it rest for 5 minutes, let it absorb all those juices, and during that time you're going to stir up the cauliflower and the pesto together, and in the end you're going to have a fantastic entree.
I've said it before, but that really was easy to put together. Thanks, Scott. I can't wait to see how you turn this into leftover chicken salad wraps.
To make our chicken wraps today, we will need chicken. This is the leftover chicken from our pesto chicken. Celery, a little bit of pesto sauce. We're going to need some lettuce. Our wrap, this is a organic spinach wrap. Tomatoes and mayonnaise. So we start by taking our chicken and adding some mayonnaise. So all of our recipes are on our website. You can certainly look at them, and I do understand people following recipes. When it comes to putting mayonnaise in chicken salad, everybody has their own personal tastes about how wet that they would like it. So I usually start with a couple of teaspoons, then I add all the rest of the ingredients, then I mix it all up and see where we're at for a consistency standpoint.
Keep in mind that with any leftovers, you can turn them into wraps. Simple ones like this, or a little bit more fun with your flavors. It's all up to you.
Okay, so here's our chicken salad. So now I'm going to take our wrap, place it on the plate. I'm going to put a couple of tomatoes just behind it. Start with some really, really good organic mixed greens. And then add the chicken salad. You can do a simple wrap just like that, and you are ready to go.
Quick and easy, once again. Thank you, Scott. All of today's recipes have been simply amazing. Now, let's hear from our partner, registered dietitian Jessica Bean from CHI Franciscan.
Scott, thank you so much for showing us these delicious, simple, easy recipes that we can make at home. I encourage all of you, get out into your local farmer's market, your grocery store, pick up these ingredients while it's still fresh on your mind so that you can try it at home and implement these beneficial foods into your food plan. So let's talk a little bit about the benefits of cauliflower. So whether it's cauliflower rice or cauliflower pizza crust, cauliflower is a very healthy vegetable. It's considered a cruciferous vegetable, so similar to broccoli, cabbage, kale, collard greens. You can eat it and get really good fiber, not necessarily have to have the calories with it. It's a great weight loss plan because you can eat a lot of it and not necessarily have the calories from it, but it's very nutrient dense. So what that means is that without the calories, you can still get a lot of vitamins, minerals from it. Specifically, there's a nutrient in cauliflower called choline, and choline is great for your memory, it's great for learning, and it's actually beneficial for healthy sleeping. So before you go to bed, if you work in that cauliflower and hummus or the cauliflower pizza, it's a great nutritious food that you can have before going to bed that gets better night's rest. Also, there's B vitamins in it that are important for our energy. It can help protect against cancer. And like we talked about in the first episode, cauliflower is that really white, bold color, and it has that good strong odor and flavor that help protect against all of the different things with antioxidants, with giving you great flavor and protecting your cells. So enjoy cauliflower and try to work it into your food a whole lot more. Have fun with it. Let's talk about oregano. Oregano is rich in nutrients, specifically the minerals of potassium, calcium, iron, and magnesium. USDA did a research study that found that oregano is actually one of our most potent antioxidants to help protect against cancer, to help protect our cells. And so if you can incorporate oregano, whether it's dry or fresh, it's great to work in. It actually helps lower that bad cholesterol, so it takes it out of our arteries and helps our blood flow smoother. It has the anti-cancer properties. It's very low in calories. It has that rich green color, has a very pungent odor, a good flavor, so you can work it into your foods easily, and it's actually good for your digestion. So try to make sure that you're getting plenty of oregano. It's good for your immune system, has antibiotic properties, and is one of those super herbs. So enjoy oregano too. Okay, so for basil, basil is actually considered an herbal medicine. It is that healthy. And basil is loaded with vitamin K, so it can help with blood clotting. It's actually a very powerful antioxidant, helps protect against breast cancer, colon cancer, and other types of cancer. It's anti-inflammatory, so if you maybe struggle with arthritis or asthma, it actually helps reduce inflammation. It also has antibacterial properties, so maybe you're fighting a cold, you can put basil in your tea, you can work it into your salads, like we're using it in a pesto in this case. You can work basil into a lot of your foods, infuse it into your water. It's actually super low in calories. It again checks those 3 boxes of being really bold in color, having a pungent flavor and odor. You can add it at the very end of cooking so it really pops in flavor, and enjoy the basil because you can work it in. Again, it's in your local farmers markets. Pick it up and have fun with basil. And let's talk briefly about walnuts or pine nuts, whatever you may choose to work into your pesto. Nuts are phenomenal for you. They're incredible in protein. They're high in iron. You get vitamin A, vitamin E, which helps benefit your body with those antioxidant properties. They boost energy. They give you quick energy for workouts. If you're out hiking, have some of those cupful of nuts. They are higher in calories, so you don't need a whole lot of them. You can have a smaller portion. Walnuts specifically are really good for omega-3 fatty acids, which help your eyes, your heart, your brain. There are anti-inflammatory properties, so it boosts your immune system and helps fight premature aging. So to stay young, keep getting in those servings of nuts. And they're very, very rich in the anti-inflammatories that can help protect against cancer. So keep your bones strong. Eat your nuts, try to make sure that you're getting those different vitamins and minerals, and since it's a good source of iron, you can keep your blood strong too. So I hope that you've learned some great tips today that have excited you, that you're ready to embrace your nutrition and this journey together. We can have fun, we're gonna learn new things, go home, try these new ingredients, and really enjoy these culinary delights. Take care.
Thank you, Jessica. That was all very informative. We hope you all will use today's recipes. We look forward to bringing you healthy and tasty choices on future episodes. Thank you for joining us on Mission Community Nutrition. To find these recipes and more information, please visit nutritiouscommunity.com. Support for Mission Community Nutrition comes from the following. Thank you. CHI Franciscan, Spectra, City of Federal Way.